Welcome back to another Tier That. Today we have with us Kayla Badstubner.
I said it right.
We are tiering the Folklore album today. This is your favorite album?
This is literally my favorite album of all time.
This is our favorite album of all time. So if you think there's a lot of A and S tier and B tier, you're right. The one, you want to put in A tier.
Yeah, A tier.
Tell us about Joe.
Okay, well, Joe Alwyn and Taylor Swift were together for like 6 years, and then they broke up, which was heartbreaking. And now every time I listen to the song, it just reminds me of Joe. So it has to be A tier.
So that's what's holding it back from S tier.
We could only do the Spotify version, the non-long pond, like whatever, any of the live vocals. And if you know, the note change during the one on the Eras tour is so good.
Right. So remember, Eras tour, way better. But we're tiering the one on Spotify that I can listen to. So you might say just go buy yourself an Eras tour ticket. I'm working on it. Okay, it's a very long process. Okay, Cardigan. I have a lot to say about Cardigan. Mostly just that it's S tier. What do you have to say about it?
Obviously, it's S tier. The bridge, everyone knows that's freaking amazing. Also, the music video, so good when she climbs into the piano.
I have seen that.
Literally, my life was changed. If you've seen the comparisons between that music video and Harry Styles' music video, then you know.
I'm glad you keep referring to everyone knowing, because I don't. The Last Great American Dynasty, which you said A tier.
A tier.
Even though they're all S tier.
They're all S tier.
Exile might be the saddest song I've ever heard in my life, which is why it's S tier.
That's why it's S tier. S
for
tier
sad.
for sad.
Exactly.
It's so good.
You said S plus tier. It could be the S plus tier, but it's not the Harris Door version. My tier's Ricochet.
S tier.
S tier.
S
all right,
tier.
of course, because
it's so petty, but also heartbreaking at the same time. And that's the energy we're looking for.
Mirror Ball.
S tier.
Said that you now no longer say Disco Ball.
No, I always say Mirror Ball.
You now always say Mirror Ball. I just want to say I have listened through all of Folklore before, but it was a long time ago. 7? I remember 7.
B tier.
So Kayla offered to put it in A or B, and due to the overpopulation in S and A, I decided B was where it belonged. So sorry for anyone who likes 7 out there. I also like 7 quite a bit.
It's a good melody. It's just not as good as some others.
Okay, August.
A tier.
A tier. August. A tier for August. Once again, same reason as last one. We were offered wait a second. We said B tier.
We did?
Yes, and that was because you offered the same reasoning. You said A or B, then don't worry, you go off the rails. Okay, this is me trying.
Which one? Oh, A tier.
This is the point where we were tiering them. She said, oh, I gotta save some room in the S tier. And I was like, oh crap, she thinks she still has S tier options.
I did.
Well, there's gonna be more S tier where that came from. Anything you'd like to say about This Is Me Trying?
It's for the academic burnout girlies. It's amazing.
Illicit Affairs.
Okay, look. I wanted to do the Long Pond Studio Session version because it's so good. So, A tier.
Someone's gotta stay on Earth, okay? They can't all be S tier. Invisible String, B tier.
It's too happy.
Too happy. We can't have happiness in Taylor Swift's world.
Not in Folklore.
Not in Folklore. Mad Woman.
D tier.
Get wrecked, Mad Woman. Maybe a little calmer next time, huh? Yeah, thank goodness. I'm very glad that you're branching out beyond this half of the board. Okay, Epiphany.
S tier.
Obviously.
S tier.
Don't know where else that one
Obviously.
would belong. You said you cry every time you listen to it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
amazing.
So, let's move on. Betty.
Oh, wait. Did we put it in C tier?
Well, you said A tier for the Era Tours version, but then whammo C tier for the normal one. I think that's understandable, mostly.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, I'm really just playing population control in the tiers, and I don't even care what the songs sound like anymore because this is ridiculous, and it's not going to get any better. So, C tier, that's where it's going to go. Peace.
Travis Kelce is basically the answer to this song because she's talking about how she's never going to be able to give someone peace because of, like, her fame and because... I mean, she's just too popular. So, like, she can't, like, control all of these things that are going to come along with that. And Travis Kelce doesn't care, and he just owns it, and we love him for that. So, A tier.
Hoax. B tier. I mean, once again,
No comment.
apparently they're all S tier, but
They're all S tier.
we have to put it something B tier. And then the Lakes.
S tier.
S tier.
S tier. It's so good.
Quote, you said, she's a freaking poet.
She is a freaking poet, and she's literally quoting Wordsworth the entire time, and it's so good.
So anyways, that's Folklore. Some of my favorite Taylor Swift songs are in here, like Cardigan and Exile. Glad they're in the S tier. Usually, this is the opposite of what happened when I was doing Red. When I put all my favorite ones in S tier, I was told by my council none of those belong in S tier, and I was sad. So I'm glad that we have the good ones that I like in S tier, and I'm sorry you had to put things outside of S tier.
That's okay.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to ask if you had anything you'd like to plug. She'd like to plug the
Everyone
Arrows
go
tour.
watch the Arrows tour
Yeah,
documentary.
I
It's
knew
so
it.
good. It's life changing.
Yeah. I've only watched the Reputation tour, and my life has since been changed as well. So I'll go to the Arrows tour and hopefully experience this, whatever this is, where I can't remember the normal songs anymore, and I'm just going to have to wait for Taylor to release an Arrows tour version of everything.
Have you listened to Cruel Summer Arrows tour version?
That's all the time we have today. Farewell.